Good afternoon, and welcome to Uniquely Urbandale, a service of the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. I'm J. Michael McCoy, along with Mary Harkin, and today we're going to meet one of the chamber members, find out about their business, and then Mary Harkin's going to tell us why you should be a member of the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. My guest today is Nicole Torstenson. She is the Director of Marketing and Public Relations at a local business called ALT Studios. And by the way, the website is ALTstudios.com. Nicole, welcome. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Tell me about who your customer is at Alt Studios.
Well, we don't really have a particular niche, but most, I would say 90% of what we do is B2B. And just
what's B2B?
Business to business.
Okay,
so,
sorry.
We help businesses that are marketing to other businesses. So we do also have B2C, which is business to consumer. So that would be like selling products. But we focus a lot on like manufacturing, healthcare, finance, ag, a lot of the stuff that you would find just by being in Iowa. Coincidentally, a lot of our clients are outside of the state. And at one point or another, we've done business, I think, in about 48 states.
Wow. How old is altstudios.com?
We were actually founded on April Fool's Day in 1998. We're still having fun today. But so we've been around, and we used to be, you might have heard of us being known as Innova Ideas and Services.
Okay.
And then around 2011, 2012, we took our own medicine and worked on our own business and rebranded as Alt Studios. So we've been around since 1998, but as Alt Studios just since about 2012.
All right, so let's get a scenario here. Webcast One Live is a business that can create social media content for other businesses. So how would you help me?
First I would ask you what your goal is. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to get different results, improve, reach a new audience? So what's your goal?
She has really big questions, Mary, doesn't she? My goal is to help small businesses become big businesses, helping successful businesses become successful sooner.
Okay.
I can't help a dying business. I'm not a last hope. I'm a first thought. If you want a presence on social media that's not expensive, then we're a pretty good alternative.
Okay. So typically what we would do is we kind of sit down with you and we determine what those goals are, so helping other businesses, and we kind of determine how to reach those audiences. And so for you, maybe through social media, maybe we try to integrate offline and online channels. So just because maybe the work you do is on social media doesn't mean that that's the only way you can communicate. So it might be for you going to different events, meeting people, sharing information about your business, kind of like I'm doing today. It might be putting an ad somewhere. It might be putting ads on social media, or using the content that you're creating to attract other people that need that kind of content. So we kind of look at what all those possible strategies and tactics are, and then we make our roadmap or our marketing plan. Then we would work with you to determine what's your budget look like. So how do we prioritize those things that you need to do and get you the most bang for your buck?
And how do we do a return on investment? How do we measure whether our campaign to gain new businesses is successful?
Well, the good news is a lot of the digital strategies are easier to measure. So let's say, for example, you want to do a social media ad campaign. We can determine, we can really target those audiences that you're going after, determine who's clicked on that ad and how much it costs us to get that customer for you.
Good.
And kind of track back with what we invested in it in the beginning to see if it really was worth it.
I've amazed over the years at how many business people don't know what does it cost to get a new customer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I've asked that to businesses, and you get that blank stare. Well, what do you mean? Well, how do you determine a budget for marketing if you haven't determined how many people you're going to get from that?
Right.
And I would assuming that's something that you guys have kind of cornered the market on it. You got to figure it out.
We try to help people determine, and often I do sit down with clients and we talk about, what's your revenue, and of that revenue or whatever your net profit is, what should be spent towards marketing? Because, ideally I'd like to say, let's take all your revenue and spend it back on marketing and reinvest. But obviously businesses have a lot of expenses they need to take care of. So we kind of look at the size of business they are, what industry they're in, and trying to determine maybe what that percent is that should be allocated towards marketing. And then, for example, if you got a big initiative, if you're rebranding, if you've got a huge special event, then that changes that budget a little bit. Maybe you allocate more that year and less the next.
Okay, so I'm an old school radio advertising guy. 15, 20, 25, 30 years ago, we would have hired an advertising agency. Mm-hmm. Is that what you are, only you're the 2016 version?
Well, I think that's what we call ourselves because that's what most people would think of when they think about our business. We were born out of the need for printing customers to expand their needs. So like, I've got this brochure, but how do I get it in customers' hands? So we started there, and as marketing options evolved, so did we. So I think we do consider ourselves an advertising agency only because that's the niche that we fit into. But we kind of look at ourselves as doing integrated brand strategy. So all of those things that make up your brand and get that brand out to customers, that's essentially what we do.
All right. My guest today is Nicole Torstenson. She's the Director of Marketing and PR for Alt Studios, altstudios.com. So why are you passionate about this? Because I can tell you are. Where does that come from?
To be honest with you, since I was little, I've always wanted to work in an advertising agency. I've always wanted to be in marketing. So, and this is a crazy story, but have you ever seen the movie Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
So there's a gal in that movie that does PR, and she had this, sorry, I was going to swear for a second, but I'll take that back. She had a really great suit that she wore, and she looked like she was having fun and she was doing cool things. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. So I actually went to school for PR and marketing. And when I got out, I tried a couple different things, and I had a friend who was a media rep for Innova. And she's like, this is such an awesome agency. I've always dreamed of being at an agency. She got my foot in the door, and I've been there ever since. And every day I wake up excited to go to work.
Wow. How long have you been there?
Almost 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, where did you go to school at?
I went to UNI. Go Panthers.
Go Panthers. That's right. Too bad about that North Dakota, man. But, what have they won? 4 in a row or 5 in a row or something?
I think we were doing really well.
Yeah, you guys did great.
Yeah.
And how about you and your family? You're married?
I am married, and I have a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Oh, my.
So that's my other job.
You're the soccer mom on the run.
I'm trying my best.
And how does your husband support you?
He's trying to understand what I do a little bit more now. I think he's trying to figure out, he was on Facebook at one point, I think for an hour before he decided it wasn't for him. But I try to explain some of the stuff I'm doing, and I think he's starting to get an interest in it a little bit and understand more of what I'm doing.
Good. Well, you're very good at what you do.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, we got to mention the boss's name.
There's 3 principals at Alt Studio. So it's myself, Linda Bartling, who's a creative director, and Tony Thrush, who's also a creative director, and we are owned by Dean Jessic.
All right. Always good to get the boss's name in there.
Yeah.
Speaking of the boss, here's Tiffany's number 1. Her name is Mary Harkin, and she is the Director of Marketing and New Membership for the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. And you guys do a cool thing every Tuesday. Just put yourself out there. Anybody can come in. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to come in advance. Come in and start asking some of the tough questions.
That's right. We had a small group of 3 people who came this morning. And you know what? It was a great conversation. 3 different industries. They got to learn about each other. But we also talked about all the online benefits. So I'm kind of laughing. We have the online benefits and on-ground tangible benefits where you're out meeting people. But today we featured all the online things you can do with your membership. Everything from posting job openings to posting online offers like hot deals. And we also have press release functions, things like that companies can market themselves through. And they also get to access great companies like Alt Studios and all the things they have to offer. So we went through all the online benefits today, and every week we feature a different set of benefits that you can come and learn more about. Tuesday mornings, 9 to 10 a.m. at the Chamber office on 100th Street. And we serve wonderful, delicious Friedrich's coffee. And we invite you to join us and just learn more about those opportunities.
Yeah, and you probably didn't even know the vast amount of benefits there is to being an Urbandale Chamber of Commerce member. Mary just whipped out a half a dozen in only one department. See, this is not your grandmother's Chamber of Commerce. This isn't the good old boys getting together for cocktails from 4 to 5 and cutting a ribbon. This is really helping your successful business become successful sooner. I hope you check them out. For Uniquely Urbandale and the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce, I'm J. Michael McCoy. Thanks for watching.